This is a quick overview of Codequiry for catching plagiarism and similarity in your classroom, for coding competitions, for code interviews, for anything really. It's a all-in-one plagiarism detection tool for source code. So we currently support many languages, almost all of them, and if that fails, you can always use the text parsers. And let's create a test here. So what I have is just a case of random bubble sort Java projects. I just downloaded them off GitHub right now. And in one of these, there's some similarity, and in another one, there's a blatant case of plagiarism. So let's see if Codequiry is able to catch this. And for now, we're just going to run a group similarity only, just because it's a little quicker, but you can also do a web check on that all. So, and a web check is going to kind of give you, I'll show you what that looks like later. So we're just going to call this bubble sort 3, and Java is our parser, and we're going to create the check, and it's going to take us right into the check. From here, we have our zip files, and make sure they're under 10 megabytes, and if they're higher, you can always split the code up. But in most cases, we find everyone, as you can see here, they're pretty small because it is just code files. So you just drop these in like this, and they're going to be uploaded and displayed here once they're all done uploading. And just to keep things a little cleaner, you can just refresh the page here. And these are all these submissions. So first of all, let's go over billing. So you can do a estimate on how much this would cost your quota, your checking quota. And this is based on if you select web check or group check. It's also based on the amount of lines of code. Basically, how much work does the engine have to do? And it's going to take about 100 pro checks, and there's 1,000 whole lines of code. Now you're going to be getting by default about 1,500 pro checks a month, and you can always increase these right here in the billing page of your panel, and just put in the amount you need, and it's going to show you the price, and you can update your plan there. So as of now, we have enough quota, so it's going to tell us how many files were detected, and we can uncheck this and actually start the check. Now, first of all, the settings, also you can select different parsers here, and if you're just running one submission, you can try the deep check. It's going to be more thorough. But if you're doing lots of volume of checking, maybe 500 files in your check, you're going to have to optimize the check type a little more. And if you need to detect base code too, you can use that as well. So that's up to you. It's a little more advanced, but right now we don't need that stuff. So let's just start the checking, and you're going to see wait times up here. It usually doesn't take too long. It just depends. If you're running like 100,000 lines of code to 1,000,000 lines, then yes, it could take hours. So really, it depends. And this should take about a minute, I would say, just because it's not too many. And we're not running a web check. So if you run a web check, it's going to take a little more time because it has to go through a lot of files. So right now it's just checking, and I'm going to show you what you can expect after it's complete. So the results page, the insights, what we can see here off the bat. And I recommend just doing something else instead of just waiting for it. You can just do something else, as you can run multiple checks simultaneously as well. So you don't have to wait for this. You can always create more. I can show you this old one, but I don't want to ruin it or anything. So let's just wait for this one. And we do have a priority queue for enterprise users. All the rest of the users are just on a normal queue. So we're on the normal queue right now, and that's why it's taking a little longer. Usually on priority queue, this would take about 20-30 seconds. So it's just because right now we're probably dealing with a full queue, so it's taking a lot longer than expected. But I'm going to show you what in some of the examples, we have, a student copying another student, and you're going to be able to see here what that looks like on the insights page. And as you can see, that's just lighting up red. These students obviously all copied off each other, and these students down here, they didn't really do anything wrong, and maybe we have to check on student 1 because he may have copied, on the web. So sometimes, it's important to put in base code, so a lot of shared code in libraries would get knocked out and not as a match. And you can see, though, there's a huge, similarity between these students. So there's probably something suspicious going on. As you can see, they're clustered together as well. So these, student 2, 6, 4, and 5 are very, very, very close. And their scores, your distance is 11, right? So these 4 students probably got together in a group and, copied all off of each other, because that's what the overview is showing us here. And the thickness of the lines will kind of tell you that. So these students obviously are safe. Student 1, student 3, and these other students didn't do anything wrong. So that's kind of how you will know off the bat. And you can always drill down into the results to actually see the code itself that was copied. Now, for example, for the example ones, that's kind of not available. So you're going to have to check that yourself. But you can see other examples just here of what this page would look like, right? Here we just checked 1 and there was 10 web matches. And obviously there was plagiarism here. But let's get back to our main one and see what that one is. It is completed now, so didn't take too long, but now we can see, right? And these are the 2 cases. This is where 2 students copied off each other right here, and you can see their scores are similar. So if there's high variance detected, there's a high chance of plagiarism. And also, it looks like Bubble Sort Master 2 has something going on. And these seem all safe. The rest of them are fine. So we can check that. We can go through the group overview and see what's going on. And as you see, these 2 submissions are 17 away, and they're very, very close together, which indicates they obviously copied off each other. And you can assume, right, like if this is your classroom, you can assume that these 2 are, they copied off each other. They collaborated in some way, but the rest of the classroom is doing fine, So that's the importance, and one of the innovations we added in is this group distance chart. It just makes it so easy to see, which students collaborated together. So from there, the results page, you can really drill down into things here. So let's check out, some of these submissions and see what's going on. Sometimes it won't really detect. It'll just detect kind of similarities. Like you can see here, the code is the same, but they didn't really copy off each other exactly. It's just a similar code and nothing of concern. So what we would kind of be alerted of is something like this. So let's check out these guys. Nothing here. I believe it was Bubble Sort. Sort main test. I think it was this one. So there was 100% match here. Let's check that, and it's pretty much a direct copy. So this student, they clearly copy off each other, and this will allow you to see that. And you can even see they they didn't try to change anything, but if they change the variable names, the white space, the comments, any of that stuff, it wouldn't change this match at all. So we can see the other things, and These are just other matches it found, but nothing of concern, and the rest of them are clear. So that's how the peer check works. And the web check is quite similar. Again, you're just going to be able to see web matches and do that as well. It's going to check all of them on the web. You're going to find quite a lot of probably GitHub sort of matches. But that's how Codequiry works, and we're excited for you guys to try it out and for yourselves, and just feel free to contact us if you would like a long-term plan, something annual, or because to date Codequiry has caught over 1 million cases of plagiarism, and it's widely used. Over 5,000 different universities use Codequiry to catch cheating. We also have an API, and you can create your own applications around Codequiry's plagiarism checking, and that's it. We also allow you to share your account, so you can add in other people into your account if you're an enterprise client, and you can also manage your data. So if you need to delete your account and your data, you can, and clear your data. So we don't use any of your code in checking for checking purposes. So it's not stored unlike Turnitin, which kind of stores everyone's code in their database. We don't do that. So all the code is yours. It's private, and we never use it for checking purposes or repurposing it at all. So that's pretty much it. And catch you all later.